Yeah, so today we're going to be doing a longer integral by parts problem. So the question is, what is the integral of e to the minus 5x cosine 2x dx? So what you want to do first is figure out what your u is and what is your dv. So I personally, in problems as such, as large ones like these, I like to make u e to the minus 5x. And dv, the other one, was just cosine 2x. So we have our u. What is the derivative of u? It's going to be minus 5 times e to the minus of x. What is the integral of dv? It's going to be sine 2x divided by 2. Now we're just going to input our variables into the formula, which is uv minus the integral of v du. Here's our uv minus the integral of v du. So now what's the problem? We can't break it down, so we have to integral by parts again. And once again, before you integrate by parts again, you want to try to simplify this. So I see there's a minus 5 over here, and we have a 2 over here. So I can pull these out in front and make this plus 5 over 2. We integrate by parts again. I like to use the same u we started off in the first integral by parts and keep that consistent. Because I think if you switch it, you'll get a wrong answer. So just keep it consistent, whatever you did in the beginning, do in the other. So the integral of u, the derivative of u, which is du, is going to be negative 5 e to the minus 5x. And the integral of dv, which is sine 2x, is going to be negative cosine 2x divided by 2. So once again, we have our uv, our du, and dv. We're going to plug into the formula, which is uv minus the integral of v du. Here is our uv, and here is our v du. And we can simplify this even further before we start anything. And we can multiply them, I guess, so that now they're under one fraction. Break down further, we can pull out the 5 and 2, so we'll get 5 over negative 5 over 2. So what you see over here, hopefully, is what we're basically going to be integrating by parts is cosine 2x minus 5x. This is our original problem. The original problem was, what is the derivative of cosine 2x e to the minus 5x? So in cases such as these, wherever you see a cosine 2x, wherever you see cosine 2x times e to the minus 5x, you just put an I over it. That's going to be the variable I. Just put a variable I on it, and you don't need the I, but it's just so much more simpler if you just use the I. So wherever you see cosine 2x e to the minus 5x, just put a I there, okay? And that's what I did. And remember, what the problem that we're solving for is the integral of cosine 2x times minus e to the minus 5x. So that's going to be I as well. All right? Just to go over what I just did. When I integrated by parts 2 times, the second time I found out, after moving everything to the outside, that cosine 2x, there should be integration sign over here, but the integration of cosine 2x e to the minus 5x is the exact same thing that I started off with, which is this. So because I started off with the same exact thing, in order to make things simpler, I just labeled it an I. And because this entire problem is based off of that, I'll put that I there too. So there's 2 I's. The first problem, and the second integration by parts. All right. So I want to make this more simpler. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to distribute 5 over 2 to everything in the parentheses, and I will get this. It's going to be negative 5 e to the minus 5x cosine 2x divided by 4 minus 25 over 4. If you don't see how I got it, go back, look, 5 over 2 minus negative 1. Negative 1 over 2 is going to give you 5 over negative 4. Negative 5 over 4, which we got. And 5 over 2 times negative 5 over 2 is going to give us negative 25 over 4. All right? Now what are we going to do? We're going to try to simplify even further. If we multiply everything by 4, we'll get a 4i. We'll get a 4 over here. 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. 4 divided by 5 will give us negative 20. Divided by 4 will give us negative 5. And 4 divided by 25, 4 times 25 will give us 100. 100 divided by 4 gives 25. So we're going to be left with 4i is equal to 2 times e to the minus 5x times sine 2x minus 5 e to the negative 5x cosine 2x minus 25i. So what do we do now? We're trying to isolate I. So we're going to add 25 on both sides, and we're going to get 29i is equal to this information. So in order to solve the problem, we have to solve for I. We're going to divide 29 on both sides, and we're going to get the final answer, which is the integral of cosine 2x times e to the minus 5x, is 2 times e to the minus 5x sine 2x minus 5 e to the minus 5x cosine 2x divided by 29 plus